That year, that 120 million that was sitting in the bank, it could have run up 28%, and he left it in cash, making like 2%. You can do planning with the rest afterwards, okay? So it wasn't a bad situation. But what was bad, and this ties back to what I was talking about, the need to involve your team early. I introduced him to 3 investment advisors. But the point is, he sat on the money for a year because he was paralyzed. He couldn't make a decision. All 12 of the investment advisors started looking and sounding the same to him. That year, that 120 million that was sitting in the bank, it could have run up 28%, and he left it in cash, making like 2%. He could have made more in that 1 year to pay the whole tax bill if he had good advice up front and started
Right.
selecting his team. That's an example I use frequently. I've had other situations where a client in Tampa, they 2 major law firms were involved, and I won't name them, but they had transferred pretty much 90% of the gentleman's wealth in a business that he sold for 125 million into 2 trusts, one for each of his 2 college-age kids. Okay. More importantly, the way they structured these trusts, the children would have ended up with all the money, and the parents, meaning my client, ended up with the tax liability. But it isn't a good thing when
You
the parents are
have
left with
no-
25 million and the tax bill's 25 million. The planning literally was going to make the parents broke and having to beg their kids for money. Sometimes I think it's an example of people that don't do planning, and it's an example of people that do planning without understanding all the consequences because they jumped into it way too quickly.